Okay, seen. Alright, people. What's up now? We here or we not here? Again, people, I say um the weather kind of bad outside, so maybe that's why the internet looks so suspect, right? So I could see if we can go on through with this. It's not gonna be like a 10-hour night, like on my plan. Right. So as I said, Burkina Faso has done so much to improve them country, and this is one of the things where them just implement recently. There's so much thing this man has done in 2 years. I keep on saying that, and some people now accomplish, well, people in the position to accomplish that 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they've not done a difference. So we are going here, we are going in a Burkina Faso right now. Right, people? As we proceed.
A declaration that Africa is no longer happy to serve as a market for goods from Asia and the West. A declaration that independence is a reality that is being developed, rather than a pipe dream. A declaration that a few wealthy countries are no longer the only ones who can innovate. Those who dare to build, even when no one expects them to, deserve it. However, what was Burkina Faso's method? How did a nation without a well-established auto industry, significant assembly units, and without substantial financial support, produce something that places it on the map of electric vehicles worldwide? Is this a one-time event or the beginning of a revolution that has the potential to change Africa? What does this mean for the rest of the globe, above all else? For many years, electric vehicles have represented sustainable development, futuristic mobility, and technological progression. However, the same names always come up when people talk about who is driving the EV revolution. Tesla in the US, Volkswagen in Germany, and NIO and BYD in China. No one ever anticipates that Africa will be included. Africa is thought to be too industrially behind to produce its sophisticated electric cars. Burkina Faso, however, has just disproved that notion. Indeed, the first locally produced electric vehicle has been unveiled by Burkina Faso, a West African country that few would have thought could compete in the global auto industry. This car is not an imported one with a few tweaks. Engineers from Burkina Faso created it entirely domestically, adapting it to the unique requirements of African drivers and the conditions of African roads. This accomplishment goes much beyond simply creating a vehicle. The goal is to demonstrate that Africa is capable of being a leader in high-tech innovation rather than only a market for goods from Asia and the West. It is about industrial change, economic independence, and a time when African countries won't need to rely on costly imports to advance. However, the most crucial query still stands. How was this accomplished by Burkina Faso? How could a country with no prior car industry expertise accomplish something that even more affluent African nations have found difficult to accomplish? Would many countries in Africa follow Burkina Faso's example and begin manufacturing their cutting-edge technologies, marking the start of an industrial revolution in the continent? Although this electric car's tale is just beginning, one thing is already evident. It has altered people's perceptions of Africa's potential. Let's discuss how Burkina Faso succeeded. 5 years ago, automotive experts would have laughed if you asked them if Burkina Faso could produce its own electric vehicle. They just thought it was impossible, not because they were hostile to Burkina Faso. The nation had no prior experience producing automobiles, no supply network for parts for electric vehicles, and no large assembly plants. However, despite having foreign-backed auto manufacturing sectors for many years, nations like South Africa and Morocco have yet to build an entirely domestically designed electric vehicle. What therefore made Burkina Faso successful where others have failed? Bold leadership, a creative local team, and a resolve to overcome economic reliance on foreign powers are the answers. D-IEASYJERK, a Burkina-based startup specializing in sustainable transport, is the firm behind this innovative car. D-IEASYJERK took matters into its own hands instead of waiting for foreign investors to establish an industry in Burkina Faso. They designed the battery technology to be effective in the environment of West Africa, manufactured the vehicle locally, and whenever feasible, purchased materials from African vendors. This is important because the majority of EVs on the market are made for roads in China and the West. Add your voice to the total liberation of Africa by leaving a comment in the comments section below. Do not forget to like and subscribe for more informative videos like this one. Let's proceed. The vehicle from D-IEASYJERK was designed especially to meet the particular driving difficulties in Africa. The figures are striking. The fast charge time of 30 minutes is comparable to that of Tesla's charging method. This is not an attention-grabbing symbolic project. This is a competitive, serious electric car that satisfies contemporary efficiency requirements. Burkina Faso's accomplishment is all the more remarkable because it does not depend on foreign firms for battery technology or assembly. Even in more affluent countries, the majority of international automakers still rely significantly on China for EV batteries. Instead of taking that step, Burkina Faso decided to create and produce the technology domestically. In addition to keeping earnings domestic, this choice enhances Burkina Faso engineers and workers' technological proficiency. If this seems familiar, it's because China's ascent to market leadership in EVs followed a similar trajectory. Only a couple of decades ago, China did not play a significant role in the manufacturing of automobiles. It made extensive use of imports and outside knowledge. But China surpassed the West in EV manufacturing because to steady investments in domestic businesses, a strong government drive for...
You see, it's always domestic investment that changes the country's trajectory. Because again, in anything, if there's no investment in it, or the people who are invested in it have other ideas, it's not gonna be successful. That's why I'm saying I love Burkina Faso and what these countries in Africa is doing for the people in their country, instead of just taking money for themselves. We've been through Burkina Faso's history, also Abraham Traore history, right? So this is 2 years going that is implemented so much things, so much changes in the country as we proceed.
A strong government drive for independence, and a dedication to technological innovation. Global markets are currently dominated by Chinese electric vehicles. Would Burkina Faso be able to do the same? Could this electric vehicle serve as the catalyst for a whole automotive revolution in West Africa? Whether this is a one-time event or the start of a long-term plan will determine that. There have been isolated technological achievements in many African nations, such as a successful startup in one country or a promising invention in another. However, very few have been able to take these isolated successes and turn them into large-scale, long-term industries. Will the electric car from Burkina Faso be just another news story, or will it be the start of something much more significant? Burkina Faso, led by Captain Ibrahim Traoré, has made it apparent that this is not a one-time occurrence. This electric vehicle is a component of a larger plan for economic independence and self-sufficiency. It's not a publicity gimmick. It is a deliberate move in the direction of creating a competitive, sustainable industry. The government has previously stated that it intends to increase production in order to keep future models affordable and prevent Burkina Faso from becoming reliant on costly imports. Plans are underway to establish a local supply chain for EV components. Mass production is being discussed, which would establish Burkina Faso as a leader in the African EV market, provide thousands of employment, and train local engineers. The economy of Burkina Faso might undergo a radical transformation as a result. Burkina Faso currently spends a lot of money buying cars from overseas, just like many other African countries. Instead of flowing to foreign automakers' coffers, those billions of dollars might be used to create infrastructure, healthcare, and schools if the nation switched to manufacturing its own cars. The achievements of Burkina Faso are also encouraging other African countries to dream greater. Developing their own EV industry has long been a topic of discussion in nations like South Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya, but many have been cautious because of the high prices and dependence on international supply chains. The innovation made by Burkina Faso demonstrates that it is feasible to start an electric vehicle industry from scratch, rather than waiting for Chinese or Western businesses to accomplish it first. Scaling up is, of course, the
Again, these are infrastructures that Abraham has been implementing for the last 2 years. Not just food, not just airport, not just every area of his country is implementing infrastructure.
This electric vehicle is currently a proof of concept, but in order to have a significant impact, it must be manufactured in large quantities, offered at a competitive price, and backed by a reliable charging network. This raises an even more significant query. Can Burkina Faso's domestically produced electric vehicle rival international behemoths like Tesla? People frequently react with suspicion when they learn that an electric car is being produced in Africa. What if a nation like Burkina Faso creates an electric vehicle that can compete with brands like Tesla, Volkswagen, while having no prior experience in the automotive industry? For years, these businesses have spent billions on research and development to improve the technology of electric vehicles. They have state-of-the-art manufacturing, global supply lines, and decades of brand loyalty. In contrast, Burkina Faso is a surprising competitor in the automotive sector. Is the problem, though? It is not necessary to imitate Tesla in order to compete with it. The E-Tah electric car from Burkina Faso is not aiming to be a high-end automobile with the newest AI and self-driving capabilities. Instead, it is made with African consumers in mind and is intended to be useful, long-lasting, and reasonably priced. And that's precisely why it might be successful. The inability of electric vehicles to adapt to local road conditions has been one of the main problems in Africa. Western infrastructure, including excellent highways, plenty of charging stations, and sophisticated service networks, is incorporated into the majority of EVs. However, these comforts are still lacking in many regions of Africa, particularly in rural areas. Long commutes between cities make charging difficult, roads can be bumpy, and
Sorry people, as we proceed.
For the typical person. This is where the Itawa automobile from Burkina Faso has a significant edge. It is designed to endure the most severe driving conditions in Africa. Rough terrain is intended to be handled by the suspension. The body is designed for longevity rather than opulent beauty, and the battery system is tailored for hotter regions. Itawa's automobile is designed to succeed where others fail, whereas Tesla's cars might have trouble on dirt roads. The issue of affordability comes next. The cost of Tesla's cars is one of the factors keeping the majority of African buyers from purchasing one. Even the most affordable Tesla model costs more than many Africans would make in a few years. The quality of imported electric vehicles from China and Europe is not much better. Most people cannot afford them due to high shipping prices, import duties, and maintenance charges. However, cost is a priority in the development of the Itawa automobile. Its local production eliminates the need for costly overseas supply chains, exorbitant import taxes, and reliance on foreign labor. The cost of this car might be substantially less than anything else on the market if mass production is successful. Naturally, producing a high-quality vehicle isn't enough to compete in the global EV market. Tesla's infrastructure for charging is one of its best features. In order to make it simple for customers to recharge their cars, the business has constructed thousands of superchargers worldwide. On the other hand, the majority of African nations still do not have a robust network of EV charging stations. Burkina Faso is no different. Even the best electric car won't be widely adopted if there aren't enough charging outlets. But there is also an opportunity presented by this obstacle. In regions with unstable electrical networks, Burkina Faso might use its plentiful solar energy to build a network of solar-powered charging stations, increasing the viability of EVs. Burkina Faso's EV sector might be based on clean, renewable energy rather than fossil fuels, which would further lower costs and have a smaller environmental impact. Itawa's automobile could become more than just a competitor in the African EV market if Burkina Faso can increase manufacturing, keep prices low, and create a charging infrastructure that works with Africa's particular energy environment. And Burkina Faso won't be the only country to gain if that occurs. It might lead to a revolution in electric vehicles throughout the continent. This leads us to the next important query. What does this signify for the entire African economy? Could this vehicle alter the continent's perspective on self-reliance, innovation, and manufacturing? There is more to Burkina Faso's foray into the electric vehicle sector than just automobile manufacturing. The goal is to question Africa's place in the world economy. African countries have been viewed more as markets than as producers for far too long. The region exports primarily raw materials and receives things worth billions of dollars annually. One of the largest contributors to the decline of African economies is automobiles. Almost all of the cars on African roads are imported, frequently used, from Asian or Western nations. These imports are costly and contribute little to the development of regional industries or employment. However, what if Africa changed the course? What if, rather than purchasing pre-owned cars from the West, African countries begin manufacturing their own automobiles? The locally produced electric vehicle from Burkina Faso is a potent representation of what is feasible. It demonstrates that Africa is capable of developing its industry, technologies, and economic destiny. There will be significant economic benefits if Burkina Faso is able to establish this electric car as a full-scale enterprise. The first is the creation of jobs. In many African countries today, unemployment is still a significant problem, especially for young people. Thousands of new employment would be created by a flourishing automobile sector, including those in battery manufacture, charging station building, maintenance services, and more. Then there's the trade balance problem. Burkina Faso can lessen its reliance on imports and keep more money domestically by manufacturing cars domestically. A more integrated regional economy where African countries trade with one another rather than constantly looking abroad could result from this change, which may also encourage other African countries to follow suit. However, the effects extend beyond economy. A change in psychology is taking place. The rest of Africa is receiving a message from Burkina Faso's success. It is demonstrating that innovation is not just found in China or the West. It demonstrates that African countries can develop their industry without waiting for outside subsidies or investments. They possess the ability, means, and foresight to complete it on their own. Already, other nations are paying attention. South Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya have all taken steps to advance their electric car sectors. The success of Burkina Faso, however, may provide the impetus they require to advance. A continental trend toward high-tech manufacturing could interrupt the long-standing cycle of economic dependency if several African countries begin producing their own EVs. The environmental perspective is another. With rising temperatures and changing weather patterns endangering agriculture, water supply, and general stability, Africa is among the regions most at risk from climate change. Making the switch to electric cars will lessen pollution, reduce reliance on oil, and encourage the use of cleaner energy sources. It might represent a significant advancement in dealing with these issues. What about the globe at large? The success of Burkina Faso is making international automakers reconsider their preconceptions of Africa. Western and Asian automakers have long viewed Africa as a place to dump unwanted automobiles. However, now that African countries are entering the EV market, these businesses would have to contend with locally produced automobiles, which would completely alter the market's dynamics. One of the most significant economic revolutions in contemporary history will occur if Burkina Faso's electric vehicle can ignite an industry throughout Africa. The world will no longer be able to overlook Africa's promise in high-tech sectors as a result. Future African generations will grow up understanding that their continent is a leader in global innovation rather than only a follower. Furthermore, when a nation accomplishes something revolutionary, the effects can go well beyond the original triumph. The locally produced electric vehicle from Burkina Faso is more than just a technological advance. It is a declaration of independence, a guide for creativity, and perhaps most significantly a force for change in other sectors of the economy. There is another, less evident question. Even though the majority of the conversation has been on how this can encourage more African countries to construct their own EVs. What other sectors might this transform? The development of domestic battery technology is among the most obvious consequences. High-performance batteries are essential for electric vehicles, and Africa currently has some of the highest concentrations of lithium, cobalt, and other essential minerals for EV manufacturing. However, the majority of African nations export raw materials to China, Europe, and the US rather than exploiting and refining these resources domestically, only to repurchase the final goods at a significantly higher cost. However, Burkina Faso's choice to create its own EV technology may promote a move toward African countries handling battery production and mineral processing. Burkina Faso may become the battery hub of West Africa if it makes investments in this area, which would keep more money on the continent and lessen reliance on international supply chains. Beyond batteries, Africa's energy sector may change as a result of the push for electric vehicles. Infrastructure for EV charging is one of the main issues, and this is a significant problem in areas with shoddy or unstable electrical systems. However, Burkina Faso's achievements offer a special chance. What if the continent used solar energy to power its electric vehicle revolution? Although solar technology is still in its infancy in many parts of Africa, the continent possesses some of the world's greatest potential for solar energy. African governments may be compelled to make larger investments in solar farms and decentralized energy infrastructure if EV usage increases, resulting in a cleaner, a future with more sustainable energy. The issue of workforce development and education also comes up. Africa has always relied on outside technical know-how to manage high-tech sectors. But as more African countries invest in EV production, the need for qualified engineers, battery scientists, and software developers will increase. To prepare the upcoming generation of African innovators, universities and technical institutions will need to broaden their curricula. Africa may eventually be able to compete in industries other than electric vehicles as a result of this, improving its position in the global IT sector. Then there is the more general change in culture. African consumers have been indoctrinated for decades to think that the best items originate in China or the West. Because they weren't foreign, locally produced alternatives have frequently been written off as inferior. However, the popularity of Burkina Faso's electric vehicle
Man, me I tell you. Full mentality. All over the same, you know. Tell it collectively. In a negative way. That's how we think. For real, you know. We think other brands always better than my own. As we proceed.
altering this opinion. If a domestic business is able to manufacture a competitive EV, what more can African business people create? From high-tech agricultural solutions to locally produced consumer goods, this might spur a wave of innovation in other sectors. Fundamentally, Burkina Faso's electric vehicle is about more than just transportation. It's about self-assurance, aspiration, and the understanding that Africa doesn't need to wait for global innovation. It has the potential to lead. And even if there will be difficulties along the way, one thing is for sure. This is just the start of a much more significant change. Do you believe that Africa's EV business will...
Man, that much. Do we believe? We know that man said we know if we believe, you know. These people I do what them I do, I go and I create history, right? And then the critics are gonna be there, and then later on we're gonna be talking about the great job that they did. Right? Simple as that. As simple as that. Because the thing about it is, when we sit here and watch other people do it, we could be trying. We could have done the same thing. It's so refreshing, as I say, to go through the history of what's been accomplished by our culture all over the world. Now this is I remember when I did the thing, the video, and one what's his name, Viking guy, was saying he didn't do no research or anything, so he doesn't really know. And then I had the scientists saying that they tested it, right? So this guy is a little bit more detail of the whole situation on the electric car, because they launched it already, right? It's launched already, and they say it's released of 4,999, or is it 49? It looks like it's 49.99. That's what it says. After just release the 49.99 self-powered car that shocks China. So let's listen to what this gentleman has to say because he has a lot more detail. Well, in doing research a little bit more than the other brother.
Chikunbutsu says happened to him after he developed a self-powering car. Yes, a car that runs without fuel, petrol, gas, or even a charging station.
Africa has just shaken the world with a jaw-dropping innovation, a $4,999 self-powered car that needs no fuel or charging. Built by Zimbabwean inventor Maxwell Chikumbutso.
As you know, Foster, what we have invented in Zimbabwe, it is called a microsonic energy device.
This groundbreaking vehicle runs solely on radio waves, offering unlimited driving range and even doubling as a power source for your home. This revolutionary car is already causing ripples, leaving global giants like China and the US stunned. Could this be the future of energy and transportation? The game has officially changed. The inventor behind the innovation. Maxwell Chikumbutso is the brilliant mind behind the biggest energy breakthrough Africa has ever seen. Born in Harare, Zimbabwe, he had to leave school at a young age because of money problems, but that did not stop him from dreaming big. With a deep love for science, he taught himself how to build things from old parts and scraps, following visions he believed were from a higher source. His inventions include a self-powered television, a green power machine, and now the world's first car that runs on radio waves. While many can only dream of creating such wondrous items, Maxwell did it through sheer hard work, faith, and an unshakable belief in his abilities. He has faced many challenges along the way. Some people did not believe in his ideas, and he even survived attempts on his life. Instead of giving up, he focused on moving his research forward, helped by the support of his country's leaders. Today, people from around the globe are watching in awe as he challenges accepted science and offers a fresh path to clean power. Maxwell's journey shows that it does not matter where you start in life. What matters is your passion, determination, and courage to shape a new future. He is more than just an inventor. He is living proof that hope, grit, and vision can conquer all odds. Through his path, he reminds us that true innovation is born from an unstoppable and bold desire to solve real problems creatively. Groundbreaking technology. Maxwell Chikumbutso's microsonic energy stands as a true game changer in the energy world. Instead of relying on heavy batteries or fuel, his invention pulls power from radio waves that constantly fill the air around us.
A brief trip into the future with inventor Maxwell Chikumbutso. He's claiming a scientific breakthrough with this green energy technology, an electric car which he says converts radio frequencies into energy.
One of its biggest advantages is that it can be used in many forms, from cars and motorcycles to home appliances. With this miracle technology, vehicles never need to stop for a charge. They can run endlessly on energy that most of us do not even realize is out there. How does it work? The device gathers these stray signals, then converts them into direct current electricity. Think of it as a hidden force that is always near, waiting to be used. Before now, experts said it was almost impossible to harness enough energy from radio waves to power large machines. Yet Maxwell's creation challenges that belief by showing that a shift in our approach can unlock clean and unlimited power. Even skeptics are taking a closer look, trying to figure out how he made it work. Beyond vehicles, this technology promises to change how we think about household energy. Imagine never having to worry about the power going out, because your own walls are harvesting radio waves. With each successful demonstration, microsonic energy stirs both excitement and debate. It may still need to pass detailed tests, but one thing is certain. Big changes in the way we power our world are now on the horizon, ready to emerge soon. Unlimited driving range. Unlimited driving range is a feature that sets this self-powered car far apart from electric vehicles like Tesla and regular gasoline cars. With those options, a driver always has to worry about running out of power or fuel. Trips require planning, especially when charging stations or gas stations are in short supply. But this groundbreaking invention removes the worry. Thanks to microsonic energy technology, your car keeps going as long as you do, crushing the dreaded range anxiety once and for all. Imagine heading on a road trip without worrying about where to stop for fuel or how long you must charge. This car runs on radio waves that surround us, converting them into usable power.
When Zimbabwean innovator and inventor Maxwell Chikumbutso paid a courtesy call showcasing his latest invention of the world's first self-powering vehicles and motorbikes that run just on radio waves.
That means as long as signals exist, you can keep driving. It is like drawing water from a never-ending river. No more visits to the pump or scanning for a charging station. Travel becomes simpler, cheaper, and free of stress. Long journeys become a breeze now. Many question whether such a system can truly power endless miles. Yet early tests suggest exciting results. The simple fact remains, if radio signals are present, the car should never run out of juice. By conquering range anxiety, this technology could spark a life-changing shift for drivers worldwide. It might even stand as the key to a cleaner, more efficient future, free from the limits of conventional driving. Best of all, it promises to cut costs, letting people explore without breaking the bank. Dual-purpose vehicle. Kai Scythe is not just an ordinary car. It's a dual-purpose marvel that can transform daily life. Typically, vehicles serve only one role, transporting people from one place to another. But the Kai Scythe stands out with its special ability to power a home. By generating up to 15 kilowatts of electricity, this car can light up houses, run appliances, and keep devices charged during emergencies.
Yo, that's crazy though. That is a crazy technology. That means that okay, so just that means that tells with a brother then him want this a invention of for them for him robot girl them. I forgot to do a program on that the one too, cause there's so much alien them a make. They're making so much aliens, right? And all of them a look real and real. So just the fact say now them a become so real, now them can put in this a battery in a them the same thing there. Eh? As we proceed.
And keep devices charged during emergencies. It's like having a generator on wheels, always ready whenever the power grid fails, or you find yourself stranded somewhere unexpected. This feature can remove worries about blackouts, especially in areas with unstable electricity service. Kai Scythe is made possible by Maxwell Chikumbutso's microsonic energy technology, converting the radio waves around us into electricity. That power can be directed back to the vehicle's battery system, or supplied directly to your house or campsite. This dual role makes it more than a car. It's a safety net and a practical tool for everyday living. Whether you are camping in the wilderness or stuck in familiar city traffic, you have a reliable energy source within reach. The potential to replace bulky, fuel-hungry generators is huge for both home and business use. And imagine the cost savings when you no longer need to buy or carry extra fuel. This forward-thinking approach to vehicle design might spark a new trend in automobiles around the world. By combining mobility with energy production, the Kai Scythe challenges us to think bigger about what cars can do. Affordable price. At first glance, a brand new car priced at just $4,999 may sound too good to be true. But that's exactly what buyers get with this self-powered vehicle. In today's world, where even used cars often sell for thousands more, this bargain price stands out.
Man, I try to show you. That's $4,999. Because when I look on the number, I can't believe it. That's not normal. When you hear the average is $13,000 for a used car. Right? the average is like 13, 14. Them price range there. People who can't drive, I go on buy a car. As we proceed.
Many people, including families and small businesses, can now get a brand new vehicle without going into heavy debt. What's more, the low cost does not mean low quality. This car comes with advanced technology that runs on radio waves, so there's no need to pay for gas or charging. With fewer moving parts, maintenance costs are also lower over time. Taken together, these factors make it an incredibly affordable option compared to traditional vehicles. Drivers can invest the money they save into other priorities, like education, home improvements, or even a new business venture. The manufacturer, inspired by a mission to make transportation affordable, has worked hard to keep production costs down. They also aim to make these cars widely available, so more people can enjoy the benefits of clean, limitless energy. Because the car powers itself, owners can also save money on household electricity bills. Instead of buying or renting bulky generators, you can simply hook it up in an emergency and tap into its electricity generating capacity. For many, this $4,999 vehicle may turn out to be the ultimate game changer.
Believes Zimbabweans are capable of spearheading game-changing, first-of-a-kind innovations that challenge the world's traditional ways of doing things,
offering both cost-effectiveness and groundbreaking innovation. This car redefines budget-friendly transport, truly bringing...
Okay, and also there's they have this app. It's called I forgot the name, but they made this app in China that's way cheaper than the app they make in America. OpenAI, I think it's called. But anyways, they made it like these people found a way, like they use extra parts that was readily available to them, because I think the US not tell us the US is pretty much forcing the whole world to take step for themselves and fix things themselves, you know. People are coming out stronger out of the situation. Maybe that's not what him intend, but the people them have come to realize that them can't do it without handout as we proceed.
Comfort and sustainability to all. Collaborative development. Collaborative development often leads to the fastest breakthroughs. This approach means experts from different fields team up, share ideas, and help one another solve complex problems. In the case of Africa's new self-powered car, a cross-functional team of engineers, designers, and entrepreneurs worked hand in hand, each bringing unique skills. The synergy between these global and local talents allowed them to see new angles and address challenges quickly. Instead of doing everything in isolation, they sat together to brainstorm, refine solutions, and test prototypes. This open exchange of knowledge not only saved resources, but also led to more creative solutions that might not have surfaced otherwise. At the heart of collaborative development is trust and shared goals. Each partner knows they have a stake in the process, so they are all motivated to give their best. By dividing tasks according to individual strengths, they can accomplish far more than any lone inventor would. These group efforts also build strong relationships, encouraging ongoing support and mentorship. As a result, people gain new skills and develop greater respect for their peers. More minds at work mean more perspectives, which can spark fresh ideas. Together, they stand a better chance of success, even in crowded markets. It's a clear sign that the future belongs to cooperation, and projects like the self-powered car show the value of combining resources. In the end, everyone benefits, from the development team to the average consumer. Their success proves the power of unity, national and global impact. Technological breakthroughs that solve real problems can change both nations and the world at large. When a new self-powered car is born in Africa, for example, it does more than just provide a cutting-edge ride. It sparks growth in local industries, Engineers, designers, and factory workers all gain job opportunities, leading to stronger neighborhoods and improved living conditions. With more people earning a solid income, communities can invest in better education, clean water, and other important services. In turn, this helps drive a healthier society, boosting national pride and unity. Beyond the country's borders, the ripple effects spread far. Other nations may adopt this car's design or build new systems around its ideas, creating a wave of technology sharing across continents. Such global cooperation can lead to improvements in energy production and make cars more affordable for everyone. By showcasing locally made inventions, Africa can now stand out on the global stage, claiming its place as a major source of progress, rather than a simple buyer of foreign products. Environmentally, wider use of this car would cut back on harmful emissions and reduce dependence on fossil fuels. That benefits the whole planet, as cleaner air does not stop at any country line. Nations everywhere can save money on energy, while also encouraging research in even cleaner transport and power generation. Step by step, a single invention can build bridges between cultures, reshape economies, and bring a greener future for all. Skepticism from the scientific community. Skepticism is natural in the scientific community, especially when an invention claims to break known rules or solve.
Critics, skepticism, skepticers, all kind of name you can call it, the condemners, you know, because these are all the things that goes hand in hand when them see something where them can accomplish, or them thinking of in them mind is impossible. As we proceed,
problems with ease. That is exactly the case with Maxwell Chikumbutso's self-powered vehicle, which runs on radio waves and seems to produce endless energy.
He has been able to achieve so much success by creating technology using radio frequency.
Many scientists question how such a device could exist. They ask for data, test results, and a clear explanation of how these waves are converted into electricity. Traditional physics suggests that collecting enough energy this way might not be possible with current methods. Because hard scientific evidence and peer-reviewed papers are limited, doubt grows even among open-minded experts. Nevertheless, the inventor's followers insist the results speak for themselves. They point to videos of the car in action and testimonies from people who claim to have seen it work. Fans say that new discoveries often start with ideas that sound impossible. They feel it is just a matter of time before more proof emerges to support these claims. Yet many researchers want official demonstrations and detailed technical documents